I'm so excited to share this deliciously easy cupcake recipe with you. It's reassuringly eggless with a rather naughty Baileys Buttercream icing topping. If your cupcakes come out flat or dry and heavy, then try this recipe. The cakes are sure to turn out light, fluffy and deliciously moist. They taste cracking. To get started, measure all your ingredients from the description down below. You'll need a bowl and a sieve. Start by sieving your flour into the bowl, followed by your cocoa powder. Just push any of those tricky lumpy bits through with a teaspoon. Now add your baking soda, also known as bicarbonate of soda, and sweeten it all up with some caster sugar. Grab a whisk and mix all your lovely dry ingredients together. Now for the controversial coffee. This actually doesn't make the cake taste of coffee, it just gives it a lovely rich chocolatey taste. Simply use instant coffee granules with some boiling water and mix them together until the granules are all dissolved. Now you can add your milk. I'm using semi-skimmed cow's milk, but you can use whatever milk you prefer. Whisk the milk into the coffee, and now you need to add the cider vinegar. You need the acid in the vinegar to create a chemical reaction with the baking soda, which helps make the cake rise. Your last ingredient is the vegetable oil. I know this looks a bit unappetising, but this is what gives the cake moisture and stops it from going dry. Whisk this all together, and then you're going to add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. Do this a little at a time to avoid it going lumpy. I'm just using a whisk, but you could use a hand mixer or a stand mixer if you prefer. Whatever you use, always mix on a low speed, otherwise your cakes will go all dense and heavy. The consistency needs to be thick and creamy, but thin enough that the batter drips slowly and smoothly from a spoon. Baking cup liners can vary in size and style. I'm using foil ones because not only are they eye-catching, but they prevent unwanted grease marks or stains. This recipe makes 6 jumbo cupcakes or 12 standard 2-inch high cakes. I'm also using a cupcake or muffin tin. You can just put the cakes onto a baking tray, but they tend to spread out and crack rather than rising upwards. Add all your liners into the tin and then fill each liner with the mixture about 2/3 of the way up. Don't overfill them, otherwise they could make a mess and not cook properly. Pop them in the middle of a preheated fan oven at 170 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes. Oven temperatures can vary, but resist the urge to open the door until your time is up. You can check if the cakes are cooked in the middle with a cocktail stick or kebab stick. Push it into the middle, and if it comes out dry, the cake is cooked. If it's wet, pop the cakes back in for a few more minutes. These cakes are a little bit cracked on top, but that's okay. We're going to cover them with delicious Baileys Buttercream. To make the buttercream, cube your butter, and it needs to be at room temperature so you can mix it. I'm going to use a hand mixer to do this to save time and avoid lumpy bits. Start by beating on a low speed until the butter is soft. Now add a little of your Baileys cream. There are other flavours you can experiment with, like orange truffle Baileys cream. Beat this together a little before starting to add some of your icing sugar. Do this a little at a time, otherwise you will be literally caked in a cloud of it. Add the remainder of your Baileys and then the rest of your icing sugar. Beat this all together until it's thick and creamy, but it should be loose enough to be able to pipe through a piping bag. I've got to try a bit of this. Delicious. Look at that. So creamy. Now choose your piping tip. There are so many different styles to choose from, so get creative and just have some fun. They don't have to be perfect after all. Now you need to fill your piping bag with the buttercream. I used a pint glass to keep it steady. Put half of the mixture in and then twist the end tightly to get rid of air bubbles. Keep your hands cool so that the buttercream doesn't start to melt. And now we're ready to start piping. Start by putting a dollop in the middle and then work around in a swirl. Just have fun with it. And finally, we're going to crumble some chocolate and finish off our cakes by sprinkling this over the top for an extra chocolate hit. These cakes really are a winner with adults, so give them a try and let me know how you get on in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more eggless recipes, and you can watch some more right here, right now.